pun. So with that said,
pun.
Our fifth series of the day, Luminosity and Complexity. Going to be a tough one. Either way, looking forward to see how it plays out. And it's right out of the gate. It is going to be Luminosity.
I love this. Already, Ixo taking it from his own back line. Does all kinds of corkscrews just to get towards the front of the net. And Tox will handle it from there. I love the establishment early on from Ixo and just kind of setting the pace. Great job early from Luminosity to get themselves on the board. And I like that because you know that you're going to get 3 or 4 shots off of a kickoff from Complexity in the opening minute. They're going to put pressure on. So why don't you just respond quickly and get the pressure right back?
And anything they can to start off on the right foot. I mentioned it. And it's the ones that we called out. So glad to see that from Luminosity as it's a big clear downfield. Tox going to intercept to make it a little bit awkward. As a shot comes in and another one for Ixo. Good start here for Luminosity.
Haha. The caster curse is real. Tox, great setup. Something he used to do all the time on Vodafone Giants. Playing towards the ceiling, he would set up these touches off the ceiling down to his teammates. And it works again. Another quick goal. And there's only been 30 seconds gone by. We've already got 2 ready to go. For Complexity, looking to at least stop the bleeding now and potentially maintain possession. So we should see this game slow down. But if Ixo and Tox are flying upfield like they're doing now, good luck stopping Luminosity. It seems that they've come out with a fire.
So far, haven't really seen too many shots. As I say that, Tox going to throw into the corner. As Complexity finds themselves on offense, trying to push past. They've got 2 sitting back deep, so it should be an easy clear downfield. Unfortunately, with this one hitting the ceiling, it is going to settle in the midfield. As another touch by Ixo. Able to get multiple challenges in their favor as the first minute has gone on by. As Complexity starting to warm up a bit more. Bit of possession in their favor as it's played high too on defense off the backboard. Easy clear. And again, thrown right back at it. Ixo and Tox coming together. Pop it high, but AJG there to meet it. Should have one more. It's a flip reset. Can he get another one? As he's able to win multiple challenges, but off the backboard, the follow-up's not going to be there, but it's still forcing a lot of boost to be expended from this defense as a shot again, top left. Good save by Atomic before it clears it away.
Now, if you're in this position, you are Complexity. Looking at how they've played in 3 so far today and how it has been a somewhat of a drastic difference between their confidence in 2s and 1s, is there something that specifically has stuck out to you, Lawler, about the way they're approaching maybe the opening 2 minutes or so of these games? Because it seems that they're very lenient on the individualistic play styles with either Raisbull or like Shad kind of taking the ball running point and everybody else then gets their chances. It's not been a lot of infield passing from them.
No, it seems to be a lot of individualism, and that's pretty characteristic of their playstyles, where a lot of the time when they are bringing it out of defense, it's a solo air dribble or something to that nature. The credit actually for me primarily goes to Luminosity. The reason where they've been struggling is Luminosity is very aggressive, which is what they needed to do. I think they got beat by it super hard on Guild, and they've learned from that mistake to where, hey, we can't play that flat. We need to make sure we come up and punch this team in the mouth, and they've done that twice already as we approach halftime. So again, I think credit to Luminosity and recognizing the mistake that they gave. A lot of space, but at the same time, Complexity has definitely kept 2 back quite a few times as things have been cleared out. They're getting punished for it.
Almost awkward little save there. We've seen that a couple of times from Complexity during today where they've double committed on a ball where they've kind of sent it back towards their own net looking for like a quick pinch to a clear. And sometimes it doesn't quite work out. Granted, they haven't been scored on yet, but it could get dangerous. Finally, AJG will flip it back towards the midfield, and Raisbull is fighting for his life against Atomic. A quick save from Tox, denying the extra push, as there's really not much around for Complexity to deal with here. So far spread out towards midfield, and Tox already ready for the shot and the pass. He'll get it towards the net, but AJG denies the 3rd goal. A minute 35 to play here. If you're Complexity, I mean, outside of like a shot or 2 in this past 30 seconds, maybe a 3rd, there hasn't been a whole lot of sustained offense that we're used to seeing.
No, a lot of credit to Complexity in the way that they're trying to get this attack going, but it's Luminosity. You know, we talk about margin of error nowadays about how, hey, with mechanics they're able to make up for some stuff. And I've seen numerous times where Ixo, minimal boost, he's got to make a save that's kind of lofted, but he plays it high and out of range. So even if Complexity goes for it, they're expending a lot of boost and trying to get into a position as an onslaught of offense in front of the net. Still not able to find it through, but maybe disruption is the answer as they do find a demo. But back to my original point, Ixo, he throws it up and Tox just comes out of nowhere, makes a good touch on it, puts it into a shot. So again, Utilizing those mechanics as the pass play develops here for Complexity. There's one already up. Chad, he's got that flip reset, but can't connect with the nose. Doesn't matter as Raiseball sweeps through and puts him back within one.
It's a great setup. I mean, Shad just, even on the threat of the double tap, you have to challenge it after your EXO. Unfortunately, everybody else commits as well. I think they were waiting either for maybe a bounce pass or even there a decent center, but Complexity had enough room to work with. And they eventually do find the goal, which is big because at least gives you a chance with 30 seconds or some change there. They can keep the ball up plenty of time, but you're going to have to hold on to this possession. It can't just be you boom it downfield and then Luminosity take it away. They have to play through the corner like Raiseball's doing now.
Big clear down, final 20 seconds. On the goal line, it's absolutely stomped by Shad as they progress. Shot on target, trying to get the dunk, and it kicks out in the midfield, but no follow-up, rightfully so. As AJG left to defend, minimal boost, and a tough position. This Tox just going to hover behind this one. It's Demos on the back line, but it doesn't matter. All that time killed by Tox, and now a full field carry. Can they keep it alive? It's not going to matter as Ixo yet again comes flying in and shuts it down.
I've never really seen a player lean back with both fists to the coach. That's really cool. I don't know why that caught me off guard. That was so fun. Either way, GG's at game one. Luminosity getting it done. And what I really liked is that they didn't give space for really Complexity to get anything other than individual challenges. Like it was up to Raiseball or Shad to kind of take it straight towards the top of the box and play it off the backboard, which, I mean, Complexity will do that all day. But Luminosity did a very nice job of stretching the field and getting Complexity to have to make a lot of diving saves. Tox was more than happy to play the aerial game and use the ceiling as the fourth man. And Luminosity just were content on keeping that constant pressure up and that speed at midfield that really helped propel them through this game one.
Oh, without a doubt, that early start was an important one, and it was able to carry them through the entire series. Again, it was the issue that they had against Guild, where, you know, Guild did the same thing. They came out, they scored 2 early goals, and then it just kind of snowballed out of hand. But in this circumstance, it was enough to keep that lead. So it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was the most convincing, but it was enough, which is important. So Complexity does have their offense kind of basically stopped, which is really important. Luminosity still winning the midfield challenges and overall game controlling the pace of it. So they've got to be pretty happy about that. But they are going to transition back to ones, and not too surprised on that one with Atomic. But again, Raiseball's been stepping up huge. Excited to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, it's the same situation that Complexity had against G2, where that's ridiculous read, and that's going to go in for Atomic. Where when they play G2, they go down the first game, and you're thinking you just use ones to tie up the series. They did just that. And once more, Raiseball will be playing another version of Atomic, and already you got Luminosity finding the opening goal.
It's just a good challenge and, you know, a little bit extra on the end, but either way, good choice with going with Atomic on this one, as again, he's kind of been the go-to to bail them out in these situations. Even though we talked about Ixo's performance and his importance, some of the things that I think Raiseball wants to go for in these high lofted are just easy transitions back the other way. That shot, unfortunately, though, for Atomic, going to be a little bit wide, as having a difficult time getting the angle, but taking to the skies and with minimal boost should be an easy one. The awkward touch is actually going to really be beneficial. Raiseball, I think, want to take that to the other corner, but it's going to be a flick over the top. Should force a save, and no boost and I doesn't need to be. Because again, another wide shot. God, what a turn. And he's gone.
And it's gone. Now here's a chance for Raiseball. They catch Atomic off spawn, almost, with a high flip. Raiseball going to wait for it. That should be a goal, and it will be. Tied up very quickly, and he does take advantage of the disadvantage in the numbers, but finally, with a high flip and very little boost for Atomic. That's just a smart play all around, right? Like, Atomic's got no boost. He has to challenge this. What do? Just pop it as high as possible and then play off the rebound.
Yeah, a little bit nervous with how high it went, but because the recovery's not there, can't get boost to get back to the backboard. So, again, good play by Raiseball. Something he's been able to do all week long. As he's going to pressure here. Good no challenge by Atomic. Plenty of boost to work with. He needs to be careful for the initial 50. He does win that one and is going to secure the midfield. Fortunate for him. Raiseball does get it, but it's a beautiful 50. It's a slow play and just completely wins that challenge by not going at all.
Good hesitation. A little half step right there. And circles around. Takes advantage of the open net. And I like that break check, especially up close. We see so often players trying to either, you know, fly up onto the ball and find a big dunk, or maybe trying to get a little bit too fancy, but sometimes just a classic pivot and quick cut in the lane is all you really need. Is off the kickoff, Razebull is trying to take it up basically midfield before Atomic made that read. Yet again, another 50 that'll go the way of complexity for the moment, at least in the direction they wanted to go. Before Razebull will get possession back, Atomic one-on-one, can't get it, and Razebull with a great touch to make it 2-2.
Great respect given here to Razebull from Atomic. Obviously, as soon as that one goes up, he has to make a touch on it, but the difficulty is it doesn't play far enough to the side. So while he wants to go and get boost in the corner, Razebull recognizes it. He's like, hey, man, like I can just place this well, which, again, we simplify so much, right? Like that flick and everything and all the mechanics that go into it is actually way more difficult. Just these pros, effortless.
There we go. Was waiting for possession.
Oh. Okay, still plenty of boost. Should be fine. And he actually gets
Oh, my goodness. What a read.
That's so unfortunate for Razebull.
Yeah, so he flips it. Razebull goes for the boot, and then it looked like Razebull kind of like went for it, faked for the boost, thought twice, and by the time you've hesitated, Atomic's already made his mind. He's like, I'm taking the shot. That's
the plan for Razebull there is he stayed close to apply pressure, and he wanted that boost, but because he missed it, his knee-jerk reaction is to like go back to it, and at that point, Atomic just has the boost, and then he puts a perfect shot on target. So again, I talk about how simple these pros make it look. As Razebull again, not going to let this lead get out of hand as he neutralizes. They make it look so easy, but every once in a while, there's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, they are human. They do make mistakes.
It's got to be frustrating as well when you've worked so hard with whether it's up close towards the net or working at midfield and taking advantage of a mistake from Razebull, which doesn't come often, to get that goal, and then Razebull goes down the field and scores right back. It's got to be so frustrating. And even here, I mean, this surely should just be careened around towards midfield. And Razebull wins a big challenge, and he will punish Atomic for it.
It's such a good play, too, because Atomic decides to take the back corner, and then he goes underneath and takes the mid. But Razebull, who's just working on pads, manages to out 50 it, wins the challenge, and now he's up by 1. The turns have tabled, as they say.
Nice.
Nice. Been practicing that one all morning.
I think you executed it really well.
Thank you. I've had many hours to figure it out. So.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you know, sometimes you just can't win them all.
He's just a bully. This 50 game has been really impressive.
That's just like, that's probably, and just respect of this game, that's the worst goal we've seen so far. It was just literally, I'm going to take the ball away now. And he did. They have a 2-goal lead because of it. So Atomic going to have to now work a little bit overtime, as we had talked about prior, how he was so effective up close with the possession, but now he's been bullied out of two of his own. He got 50'd into a goal. He got snatched away from another. And he better hope that he saves this one, because Razebull is going to be close behind.
Big pinch, taken to the sky, immediate shot, trying to apply that pressure. And it's something that between these two competitors, we haven't seen too much, where it is very calculated in the way that they approach these, where it's a flick and then, you know, the other person's out of position. It hasn't been like a constant state of pressure where it's like, I put on a shot, I sweep, take your boost, I put on another shot. It has been, hey, this initial decision has been the good one. So no sustained offense for either side. It's been primarily just one go-to, and flick not able to land. Plenty of boost for Razebull. Should be able to bring this back downfield, and a good touch here. Right here.
Oh,
wait. he's gonna make one eventually, I promise.
He's fine. He's got full boost now. He's okay. I mean, Atomic's ball chasing, and I don't blame him, because there's been 2 chances that Razebull had an open, somewhat, quote unquote, open net in front of him. Now maybe a third. Just dancing, styling on Atomic. Goodbye.
Oh my gosh.
Goodbye. See ya. Adios.
Man, there's just so much time to just go. And Atomic plays it well in the initial ones. He doesn't challenge either of those when Razebull's dancing behind it, but then Razebull lands perfectly on the 100 boost, and I'm like, oh no. Up by 3, minute 5, still plenty of time. Can he get a kickoff goal? He's got plenty of boost to work with. So a flick, and it's a good save. Lies the corner boost, and now Atomic with none, gonna have to put some pads and force a 50 of his own, but Razebull's gonna be able to bully him out. It's a good fake. Another pad. Can he get something here? He's gonna need a goal quickly as it gets the initial jump, and it's the right idea, but now good clear away from Razebull and possession. No boost though.
Yeah, and if you're a Raise Bull, you can just keep throwing it downfield and force Atomic to go the length of the field. Like, it doesn't even matter if you give up possession. No. That's going to be a no. Oh, never mind. Great save and a hustle back with such little boost. You got 20 seconds to score 3, and Raise Bull is going to capitalize on that. And I think...
No, you don't score that. You just hold it down there.
I think he knows. It's 4 goals. You got 17 seconds. I don't care. The game's over.
It's ones, bro. It's a couple 1v1s. It goes back in.
We're not seeing 4 kickoffs in a row. We're not seeing it.
Hey, you never know. We've seen some crazy things.
If it happens, great. But we're not seeing it.
All I'm saying, Raise Bull could have just stopped that on the goal line and made him come back. Could have closed up the game.
I've never seen 4 kickoff goals in a row. This is me staring very intently at the camera to see it happen, but no, it's GG's. It's over.
Well played. A good start there by Atomic, but eventually it is the choice from Complexity to tie the series back up. Great play by Raise Bull as he's able to close it out.
Once again, man. Yeah, it's another spot where the spaceman sweep for Complexity is alive and well. They do it against G2, and they're about to do it against LG. That's the scary thing about this team. Like, anybody moving forward, let's say Complexity does win this eventually. Any team moving forward, you're not allowed to play them in the second game if you're up 1-0 and play ones. Like, you shouldn't be able. You should pick twos, just for the sake of, if you play ones, odds are you're going to lose against Raise Bull with how good he's looked. And at that point, you're basically guaranteed a tie series. So I'm surprised that LG decided to go ones. Or excuse me, obviously it was Complexity who went ones. But, you know, in that instance, if you're LG, you're like, well, crap. We have to play Raise Bull in game 2, and it's probably not going to go well.
Yeah, well, we look at the highlights, you can just see how well Atomic played it, but eventually it's the adjustments by Raise Bull and forcing a lot of those 50s and playing the positioning really smart. It eventually came to the point where no matter what Atomic tried, he just couldn't find the goal. So, again, Complexity runs away with it, and maybe that's part of it is, hey, we're really reliable with this. This is something that really gets back into it, and this is the dancing I'm kind of talking about, but after that 50, he just lands on the boost, and it's like, oh, no. That's unfortunate. It's so unfortunate, and he runs away with it. So, again, Complexity able to be reliable with Raise Bull as we jump back into threes in game 3. Winner of this putting themselves at match point. And then we go to 2s. So every single Q type spaceman.
I want to see 30 Spanish kickoffs, which means we're going to need at least 29 goals for that to be a realistic thing. So I want to see it, but I also want to see if any adjustments have been made from Complexity, because the threes game has been their weakest game mode today. And, you know, that's a good thing, kind of, because it just shows that their 1s and 2s are so good. But it's also a bad thing because it's threes and you have to start a series and eventually end a series with that. And right now, they have not looked the best. So we'll see if they can orchestrate more of a team effort across the board.
Well, pass inside, and a good subtle touch by Ixo is going to play that back the other way. And as that went over the top and immediately cleared out, which I like to see from Luminosity. A lot of times they were under pressure against those high-flying offenses. They're having a tough time breaking out. So this time around, dual effort in the first minute. As this one rolls down, a little bit awkward from Raise Bull. Again, he's on that orange side, but that blue decal.
Yeah, and he loves to hit it towards his own net. Like, he doesn't care what team he's on. He's just, the dude is everywhere all at once. But I mean, hey, it's worked out so far. We've made the most of it. It's going to be off the backboard. It will be. Raise Bull's going to catch it. Try to play it up towards midfield, where surely Luminosity will be ready for a potential challenge as Raise Bull gets a little bit physical. Starting to see more of that from Raise Bull now as he gets off ball, and his second play, for lack of a better word, in Broken Brain, is to go for a bump or a demo that could help someone like Shad move up into the lane and take a shot. But so far, LG doing a very nice job of mitigating the pressure. Ixo in a 1v3 can't get it through.
Gonna have to be patient for AJG. This is a dangerous one, but luckily, no flip reset or any fancy tactics there for Ixo. So able to just be patient on the back wall. And I do agree with you. I think we mentioned it briefly in their first series where they had a really hard time getting things going. It was the lack of disruption, which I think is something that as they bring that more and more into their playstyle, they should see some spacing open up and allow that offense to thrive, especially with how much they use boost consumption. So again, got to do it effectively. And again, it's always a risk, but the ability to control that pace is going to come with that, hopefully. For their sake. But on the other side, Luminosity up on offense the majority of the time. They're doing a good job pressuring yet again in threes. As this one's going to fly high and get put right back in. Good boost deny and a secondary touch. Trying to make it awkward for the defensive complexity, but they do break out into the midfield and can bring this the other way.
I was looking for an extra bump from AJG. And that one's just sent screaming to the other side where, again, AJG will be there. Here comes Shad. So it's a 2-1 hit constantly with someone on rotation like Razebull. Be taking those back passes finally. It'll break up that push from LG. But is it enough? Not towards the backboard. Denied. Long clear. Neither team getting maybe the cleanest of possessions. They are getting themselves upfield, but it's not been as cohesive as either would like. Poked free, and Shad will take advantage of the back gap. And with that, Complexity will get themselves a 1-goal lead.
3 minutes of scoreless gameplay, and then this is the one that goes in.
Yep.
Everybody just kind of spreading out, waiting to go get boosted. Hey, they find a quick one in the middle.
That's just how they've played threes. It's a lot of you have possession, now I have possession, now you have it, and then one long touch from like their own side of the field, or like one quick redirect on a pass, and boom, they get themselves a goal. I don't get it.
Well, this one over the top should be a good save by Atomic. Efforts from both, but a dangerous spot, and Razebull's going to be their first. Complexity coming alive in threes.
They do this all the time. They win ones, and then they just ride that momentum right through, and he sneaks up behind the defense, or I should say actually in front of them without them knowing. There's a bit of a scout. Nicely done on the read. With 1:26 to go. If you're Luminosity, it's not just about getting yourself on the board, and the hardest points to score are always the first, but you just need a goal just to, like, you know, make this realistic, to get the game back within grasp. Because right now, as back and forth as it has been, you are currently down. You do not have the math on your side. So you would need something. Ooh, that almost was it. Thought Tox was going to hit that.
Final minute. Luminosity in a pretty good spot. As Razebull tries to bail them out of a tough situation yet again. Does get its midfield with AJG in tandem as they sweep on through off the back wall. Shot opportunity. And it's going to be saved. So a redirect over. That's a good look from Atomic, but saved again by the defensive complexity. Got to find a way to keep this offense up as we approach the final minute and then some. Razebull slows it down and really like that. You know, they want to play fast, aggressive, but also understand the time management that comes with it. Being able to go for some disruption and anything they can do to kill off the clock, as this pre-jump from AJ actually ends up coming off the wall and pinching, and it just kills in the midfield. Another 10 seconds kicked on by. With a 2-goal lead, you got to find something for Luminosity here quickly.
Well, you get one push. And with that touch from Shad, I don't think it's going to happen. It will not. GG's all around. Game number 3 does go the way of Complexity. And they get 2 in a row in this series. Sigh of relief from the boys. Quick chance to regroup, regain, and rethink your strategy going now into 2s. Or excuse me, yes, 2s. I am correct. I remember. And this is the interesting thing. So we've seen Complexity choose to use Razebull consistently. Are they going to have him and Shad, him and AJG? It's like pick your poison if you're LG, because you're gonna get a consistent presence regardless. But with as good as Razebull is in ones, he's also just as scary in 2s. And this is what Complexity do so well. They can just put you away in a game 4 like this.
So now in a 2v2, Shad and Razebull most likely going up against Tox and Atomic, I would have to assume. But again, the crazy thing about this, and something that I haven't brought up yet because I wanted it to have the impact, and this is the first time, they win this and they get an increase of their prize pool guaranteed of $45,000.
Jeez.
So
Oh,
9
my
to 12,
word.
losing here is a $50,000 prize, which is still a ton of money. But if you win, it goes to $95,000.
To put that in perspective, like a team like SSG, that granted now they make a minimum of 95,000. That's more than winning like 3 regionals.
Yeah.
Think about that. It is more than winning 3. You win 3 straight regionals. They call BDS the Kings. You could just get top 8 in this event, and you get more than that. It's nuts.
A lot of money on the line and on match point. Luminosity, again, should be pretty confident in their 2s team, but Razebull and AJG have been a solid one. I forgot that they brought in AJG earlier last time as a good redirect and save by Atomic. So they do stick with the duo that got them the victory earlier. As the demo comes through, that's going to be a tough 50. Will the respawn be there in time? No. Atomic is going to be able to power through twice. And a good start here for Luminosity.
And I feel like even regardless of the game mode you're playing, if you are LG or any team playing Complexity, you're going to have to put like 2-3 goals on the board quickly. Just to continue to put the pressure on Complexity to have to respond, but also give yourself a cushion. Because you don't want it to be a one situation where there's 4 minutes to play and you're worried about the next push, the one that could start the downfall. In this moment, keep up the same kind of aggression that you had and hope that you can put away 2-3 goals, forcing Complexity to have to kind of change up their approach. Because right now, as they play through the corner, get a little bit dangerous.
Still, good follow through on both sides. Eventually, it is in favor of Luminosity. As that sweeping through motion does lead to a corner boost and a clear. Complexity now back on their push. It's Razebull. He's going to go underneath, try to get the bump, but it's a good save by Tox. Follow-up shot. They're going to take it high. Minimal boost, a good way to kill some things off. As I think he has the flip reset. He powers it through. No, it's going to be a good save by the defense of Luminosity. Looked like a really good attempt there. As it goes high again, shot come through. No, into the corner. Again, another bump. And Razebull trying to go for a break check, and Atomic just egos it and has a wide open net.
Beautifully read. Comes right back down and burning boost so quickly to get onto the ball. Beats the timing from Razebull. That's awesome.
Yeah, really good recovery with that wave dash.
Yeah.
Again, it's the core mechanics, the simple ones too. Not everything has to be learned through like a crazy flip reset. Although nowadays it does feel like that. But either way, push into the corner where it's safe. And this one goes high. Not going to really get much from this. But able to secure some midfield boost. He turns it and applies some pressure for Complexity. There's Razebull. As this pinches back all the way downfield. Not going to wait for it to hit the wall. Just plays it up high and tries to get something out of it. But not a whole lot of boost being expended due to Atomic already being on the back wall. That's good facilitation, a shot opportunity, and a good cutoff by Razebull. Shuts it down. Again, those delayed challenges, Atomic learning a little bit from that once match, putting it into work.
I thought he was going to try to play the 50 there. I think that's why he hesitated, is rather than trying to punch it, and then if you get a bad touch and the defense gets a big clear downfield, you're stuck. I think maybe he slowed down so that way he would at least get a decent 50 to try to play to the corner, which did work out. And Atomic to no one, but it was a beautiful setup. That's Razebull and a one-on-one against Tox. Can't get it over the back line. Over to AJG. Slowing it. Can't really quite play that one.
Been really stellar defense here so far from Luminosity. We talked about them getting out to an early lead, which is kind of needed against Complexity. And they've done just that, but even more so. It's just been the overall play. Very disruptive, as you see another demo here from Atomic, but they're picking their battles quite well. Defense has been solid. They sweep through. They get a demo. They get a couple chances. And then if not, solid defense and a couple touches to delay. So 2 minutes left to go. And Atomic floating on this one should force a 50. But again, you already see the defender all the way back until it's an opportune moment to move up. So really good decision making here from Luminosity to keep Complexity at bay. But again, still a lot of time left on the clock. Complexity, if we know anything about them, does have the offensive firepower to turn something out of nothing. But it's been difficult for them. A lot of really solid challenges from Luminosity.
Yeah, and Luminosity are forcing Complexity to have to go from their own back wall down the field, all the way down the field with the ball. It has not been like, these quick infield passes. That's the best one they've seen so far. It's off the top bar. Still a chance. Off the top bar again. Saved away. That's the best look that Complexity have had in this game. Everything else has been individually take it off your own back wall and try to burn as much boost downfield as possible to get this one through. AJG. Yeah. What in the world was this?
It was a good floater, and I'm like, all right, Razebull, you're gonna hunt it down and get a demo, and then he doesn't connect, and then the ball flops around a little bit, and I'm like, okay, what's happening? Eventually, Complexity does get it back within one, and an important one for that is they both fake the kickoff. It's a demo.
No.
Oh, it doesn't lead to a goal just yet, but eventually, it's the same thing, but in favor of Luminosity.
Demo, the miss. I was like, there's no way you're gonna miss this goal. There's no chance. Well, as impressive and interesting as Complexity just made this game, Luminosity quickly shut them up. And, well, that's the best way to respond. Already another kickoff win. Holy, ow. Great pinch, great shot. We're going to game 5.
It's been a good play, primarily in most of twos, but again, I think both teams recognizing that there is that level of respect and they need to mix it up. But this one, Atomic, just a good read and a good placement. Plenty of power on that shot as well. As we get into our final minute, it is what felt like an eternity, and then 2 goals happened. We got some replays, and now it's kind of slowed down. So I think Luminosity pretty happy with that to try to slow this one down and kill the clock, but still aggressive. And Atomic with wave dash, no boost, still following through and able to win some challenges. So why not?
Yeah, Complexity have looked stuck in the mud in this one. Like they've been sticking to the same game plan when it came to how they've approached possession, and then like it's fine. It's just it's credit to Luminosity. Oh my goodness, double reset. Still won't go in. 10 seconds to go. I mean, GG's to Luminosity. It's an impressive performance in 2s to bounce back from the 1s earlier. But yeah, Complexity just looked like they could not get past the importance they had set on individual play creating the offense here, and Luminosity were more than happy to take advantage of that, and they get themselves to a much needed and crucial game number 5, which of course will be 3s, and this one will decide this lower bracket match.
Hey man, both teams have gotten a 3v3 win. Both have gotten a unique game mode win in 2s or 1s. So again, we go back to the neutral play of 3v3s where both these teams have most experience, and honestly it's hard to pick. Primarily it's been, hey, whoever scores first and gets that early lead has been able to hold on to it. So a lot of riding, I think, on this first goal.
Oh, 100%. And I think Luminosity realized that if they could come out and strike first, the amount of pressure that puts on Complexity. But even there, just seeing, I think that was Complexity who were smiling, you know, thinking, okay, we just got a game 5 we got to get through. And if there's any team that's proven they can clutch up in ice time, and any players who have done it, my goodness, it is Razebull, it is Complexity. They're not as clutch as Moist. They're not as clutch now as V1 has become. But they're still a hell of a team that absolutely could stun LG with a quick couple of goals. And what a way to do it as well. If you know, you win a kickoff or 2 coming out the gate and you put some points on the board, what that would do to LG to feel like they have to respond and there's no point. This opening kickoff, I feel like this first minute of gameplay, if somebody scores, like, it's really going to determine how this game 5 will go, as stupid of a sentence as that is.
Well, excited to find out, as it is Complexity out of the gate and $45 additional $1,000 on the line. Curious to see how it goes as we get into our last qualification match here of the group. Slow play and turned by AJG as Ixo decides to intercept and take it over the top. Has an awkward touch, plays it down below, but again, you can tell Complexity not trying to let anything happen for free as they jump in front of it. It's a big demo downfield. Can he turn it with the boost, get a shot? It is, but it doesn't connect the way they want it. So back and forth, and I'm not surprised to see this again when there's a lot of pressure on the line, especially in these moments. Expect the touches to just be cleared downfield as heavily as possible.
I'm just having a great time over here. Look how fast Complexity are playing up on the ball. As soon as they get possession, there's always someone else around to challenge. So once AJG gets this down, you have Shad ready and waiting towards midfield. You got Razebull behind him. They're burning so much boost to keep these plays alive, and the extensions for Complexity have been so good. You're forcing the challenges from Luminosity to meet you out in front at midfield, which, again, if the 50s go your way, gives you a chance to beat them in the back line, to win that transition. And you got a 3-stack right now on the right side of the pitch, as Luminosity are scrambling to get boost, scrambling to find a semblance of each other. And Ixo just kind of has to carry it to the corner because there really wasn't much there.
Yeah, with that said, the efforts to get consecutive touches from Complexity is without a doubt noticeable. But on the other side, Luminosity's doing a really good job. They're making these challenges happen. They're, you know, again, when it looks like things are going to get cleared out, they're putting a body in the way. So even though these touches may not be the most advantageous, it is enough to make sure that things don't go into a kind of flow for Complexity, which I think is really important. Being able to cause some disruption, even if it's not the demo game, to stop them from kind of getting into a fluid area is really important, because when Complexity gets going, we see what happens. As this one is a good follow-up and a good demo, but again, Every player going toe to toe. It's a good cutoff by Tox.
Not afraid of the challenges. That's big. AJG going to meet that pass in the air. We'll get a redirect for a center. Quickly cleared away by Atomic. Luminosity not wasting any time getting rid of this ball. But what can Shad do with it? We'll win another 50. And is he the only one up? No. Finally, AJG will be there. Here comes Razebull. 3 up, committing at a time. It's dangerous. Great bomb and a huge play on the goal line as Razebull will finish what he started. But, I mean, this was all set up by the takeaway and the big bomb.
Yeah, a lot of it as well. I mean, you saw that launch into the corner. It was that initial challenge that played it over there. Then you're like, hey, is there anybody else? And you saw AJG flying off. But again, even though he doesn't get the initial challenge, he does recover down and causes some disruption like we've been talking about. Both teams just trying to get into a groove and doing anything to disrupt that has been important. So
yeah,
demo on rotation is a great way to do it for Shannon. It allows them to keep them up on offense. As we've got about 2 minutes left to go here in our last game. And again, so much on the line. As Tox with a good touch up to himself. He's going to clear that over to his teammate as Luminosity trying to find a way out of their half. Demo might do it.
Plays the pinch well.
Oh, jeez.
It's a double commit, though. That scares me. Great pinch together to get it cleared out. AJG extends it downfield. Right back to Tox and the demo. The challenge is there, the 50 win. Complexity applying pressure on the point of contact, and Ixo was looking for the fake. He did find it, but it wasn't clean enough to be able to get Complexity to bite on the play. Cleared out once more, and look how powerful these clears are from Complexity. It's forcing Luminosity to have to catch the ball far back on their own side of the field, and again, go down the sidelines, which is wasting so much time and forcing you to have to commit so many resources to keeping the ball in play.
Yeah, again, I think both teams very much so aware that any small mistake like this can be punished. With how fast both teams are coming into challenge, and because of that, it hasn't really been a possession game. Nobody's really slowing it down to play methodical or go for solos. It has been a lot of team efforts of, hey, launch this downfield, try to get a redirect, something to that capability. But to say that as Atomic able to dribble it downfield, can't get the cut inside, and it's good save. So all Luminosity pushed up, trying to find a way to sustain some offense, but it is going to be AJG that wins on that side wall. And as we go back into the middle, shot on target, it's up high, and a good touch by AJG to delay it. Razebull down to Shad, puts a shot on target. It's a little bit high. Does he have the double? Shad puts it away. The 2-goal lead with 27 seconds.
This is a great pass. Puts it on an absolute platter. And Shad takes care of the rest. Gets it right over Atomic. Goes lower right post. Keeps it close. A 2-0 lead. And not a lot of time for Luminosity to figure out an answer, but this kickoff could help things. Tox went for the demo. Couldn't get the bump. Doesn't even matter. It's pressure here for Complexity, and as long as they keep LG stifled on their own side of the field, this game's over, and this series, of course, will be going to Complexity.
Final 10 seconds. Something needed from Luminosity, otherwise eliminated from the tournament. And going home with $50,000, and that's going to do it. Already upside down, everybody done and leaving. Shad, one more to go, and congratulations to them. Guaranteed top 8 and a guarantee of $95,000.